In March, Greater Bendigo Council will consider a report recommending it release the revised residential strategy for public comment. It's been 10 years since the City of Greater Bendigo last reviewed the strategy, and in that time population growth has exceeded expectations, households on average are smaller, and the urban sprawl has gained pace.
Certainly the emphasis on the strategy will be on a compact city. Because it's a better connected city. It makes things like public transport more viable. It makes our communities work better. We're working on the idea of 10-minute communities where people can relate to their local community.
The city says this would involve providing access to residents' daily needs by improving public transport and cycling and pedestrian pathways so people would not need to leave their suburbs. As a result, suburbs like Maiden Gully, Strathfield Say and Epsom Huntley would need to make way for further commercial and residential development to accommodate these plans and forecast growth. Aspirational figures suggest up to 200,000 people will live in Greater Bendigo by 2041. Real estate agent of 40 years, Craig Tweed, puts Bendigo's attraction down to great lifestyle and affordability.
You can be inner city, that's developing really well. You can be city fringe, you can be farmlets. There's just such a selection out there with people if they want to go into your smaller, high density lot developments, or if they want with families, say quarter acre or half acre developments. There is a fair bit of flexibility there.
We're averaging about 1,700 more people every year, which if you think about it in terms of housing, that translates to around about 800 to 900 new houses a year.
City research suggests the next 20 years' growth can be accommodated inside the existing urban growth area. But Mr Tweed encourages an open-minded approach to future planning to give people access to greater land selection.
And there's no doubt there are still lots of people coming to Bendigo that they've experienced the urban sprawl of Melbourne on 500-600 square metre blocks, and they're coming to Bendigo not only for value, but they want to get bigger blocks at the same time, and there's a real trend back to that now too.
The city says the idea of a home containing mum, dad and a few kids is already a minority. Statistics indicate that single or two-person households represent 55% of all Greater Bendigo households, and this will continue to grow.
All the indications are that over the last 6 or 7 years, about 40% of all the housing development has actually been inside the older areas where people have subdivided larger blocks.
Mr Budge said developments that have previously been bypassed or considered too difficult are now getting a second look. Craig Tweed, though, is encouraging Council to look at all points north, south, east and west when considering how Bendigo should develop.
At our take-up rate of blocks per annum, our building numbers per annum, I can't see where we can find that number of lots within our existing urban structure. And I think realistically we need to look at going beyond our current urban growth boundaries, and I think we just need to be keep a really open mind on how we develop Bendigo and not be too structured or blinkered in just certain areas. We need to look at the whole of Bendigo from north right through to south.